This is a demonstration on how to use the Geotechnical Module for Civil 3D in order to create different strata layers and then create 3D objects from those strata layers and import them into InfraWorks 360. So to start with, this is just a small InfraWorks 360 model of our project area, and we're going to be working in this general park area here. So we have some boring data of this area, and we want to go over to Civil 3D, import that data into our Geotechnical Module, and then do some analysis and exporting of the 3D objects. So we'll shift over to Civil 3D now. This is the, again, same general area. If we go to our geolocation and turn on our map aerial, you'll see that this is in fact the same area as InfraWorks here. And so what we want to do is utilize the Geotechnical Module, which is this is an add-on subscription benefit that you can download, and import some boring information. So we're going to turn off our map, go over to our Geotechnical Module, and we're going to go to our import button here. And first we need to create an actual project. So we're going to create a new project. We're going to call it, just give it a easy number here, call it Geotech Demo. Change the status to open and the category to default. Click Save. And we'll select the new project, click OK. It's going to load up that table, and then we can import data into that database. You can see we support several file formats here, CSV file, key logbook. This we're going to use today is a AGS 3.1 format. We'll add our AGS file, click Open, and Next, and Next. And this is allows us to see all the boreholes that are in that file and allow us to filter them if we want. So you see we've got all of the borehole names. We can do some queries, do some filtering. Got the two different types right now. If we had more, we could filter those in or out. Allow us to kind of pre-filter the data before it imports. If we know we have some erroneous data or we don't want particular points, we could do that then. But for this demonstration, we're going to import everything. And there you can see we've quickly imported all of this borehole data. If we zoom into one of these points, you'll notice when I select it that it is in fact a Kogo point. And it's also a little more than that. So if we go back to our Geotechnical Module and go to our locations, this is a grid view of all of the location data. So for instance here, if I go to borehole 4, we can toggle these on and off individually. We can turn off if we want to see them in plan, if we want to see the 3D model, and I'll get to that in a minute, or if we would want to see a strip diagram of each one of these. So this is just a nice little strip of the different strata layers, and if we zoom out here and turn this up on its side, you'll see the actual boreholes in 3D. And if we change the vertical exaggeration, you can see those a little bit better. But for this purpose, we want to leave the vertical exaggeration to 1, and set this back to our top view. And now the next thing we want to do, and again you can continue to filter these, you have the same type of filtering capabilities that we did at import if we want to turn some of these on or off. Next we want to actually create strata layers. So here are the different strata layers that it read from the boreholes, and we want to create surfaces, Civil 3D surfaces from those strata layers. And it's fairly easy. You simply toggle on the different strata. This is the top of each one. You'll notice as I create a strata layer here or toggle on, it creates a Civil 3D surface. And we're going to create tops to all of them and a bottom to the clay. And so now we have these different Civil 3D surfaces. So we're almost there. to creating 3D solids from the different strata layers. But what we want to do first is do some extracting 3D models from those surfaces. So I'm simply just going to close the strata dialog, select the top most surface. I'm just going to do a right click select. That way it gives me my quick access toolbar. Go to extract from surface, extract solids from surface. And here this is a handy little tool for creating 3D solids. And we can do it a specific depth to a specific elevation, or in this case we want to do to another surface. And we're going to change the color of this just to make it easy to look at. And do create solid. And we're going to continue to do that a couple more times. In this case we're going to do sand to clay top. Change this to yellow. Create solid. And then we'll do it one more time. We'll do sand top, clay top to clay bottom. Click OK, create solid. And so now we have 3D solids. We need to do one more thing here. Real quickly though, I'm going to turn off the boreholes, and it will turn off the strata layers as well automatically. And then when I turn this up on its side, we'll just be left with the actual 3D solids here. So if I turn this to a shaded type view, you'll be able to see our three different 3D objects. We need to do one more thing before you export. We actually have to apply a material to these. So you can either switch to your 3D modeling workspace, or you can key in matte, which is the material browser. And then we're going to assign just three different materials. I've created some already that are semi-transparent, so I've just got this three different ones. So I'm going to just real quickly search for the three different and just do a simple drag and drop. And you can already see they're semi-transparent. And okay. So now we have our three different materials, and if you want to create your own materials, it's pretty easy. You just go down here to your material browser, and we're going to do new generic material, and we're going to call this one blue, and I'm just going to do -T for transparent. We're going to pick a color, just use an index color. We'll pick blue, click OK. We're going to turn on our transparency, leave it at 30%, and that's really it. So now if we want to swap this from green to blue, it's just a simple drag and drop, and that's really all there is to creating a material. Find my green again. Okay, so now I'm going to select these three different objects and do an FBX export, and we're going to call this surfaces 2. And we're going to do selected entities, embed, click OK. And that's really all there is to it to getting these strata layers out to a 3D model. Now I'm going to go back to InfraWorks, open up our data sources, go over to our 3D model, and open up this surfaces 2. I'm going to configure it, tell it that it's city furniture, and assign a coordinate system. This is British National Grid. Do a close and refresh, and there you can see we've got some semi-transparent surfaces, so those same objects are coming in nicely. If we want to do the boreholes, it's a very similar procedure. We'll go back to Civil 3D. I'm just going to delete these for right now, make it easier to look at. I'm going to turn on the locations, do an include, and you'll notice these are These are all one 3D solid, and we need to apply different materials to these individual layers, or they will all come in the same material. So I'm just going to select one and then just do a select similar, do an X for explode, and now we have these different pieces. So I'm just real quickly going to select the top one, again do a select similar, and do instead of drag and drop, we're going to right click and do assign to selection, and we're going to do the same thing here. We'll do select similar, and we'll do yellow, assign to selection, and then we'll do select similar, and we'll do a green, and we'll do assign to selection, and there you see we've got our boreholes with different our different materials already assigned. So again, we're going to do a export of all of these. And this time I'm going to do a just do a quick select, and we're going to do surface, and click OK. Grab all of these different surfaces, do a FBX export. We're going to call this one boreholes 2. Selected entities, click OK. And now we've exported those guys. Go over here, import boreholes 2. Again, city furniture, and assign coordinate system, and close and refresh. And there you can see, it's hard to see, but we do indeed have our boreholes. If I remove this, you can see there's our semi-transparent boreholes. So this concludes the demonstration on using the Geotechnical Module in Civil 3D to create strata and boreholes that can be imported into InfraWorks 360.